What's up, guys? Xavier Brinkman here with you on the Heard Well Now podcast. We are absolutely stoked to be in our new filming and shooting location at the Castbox studio in Hollywood. And I'm hanging out with the lovely Vidya Vox. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
So, and guys, it turns out me and Vidya are neighbors. and both live very close to each other in Silver Lake, Los Angeles. Silver Lake hipsters, what up?
East side for sure. Always.
How's your day going? What's going on with you right now? What are you working on?
Right now, well, it's really hot in LA, so I'm just trying to be productive through the heat. I don't have AC in my apartment.
Okay.
So it's always tough, like a tough battle at 2 o'clock when it starts to get really hot. No, but basically right now we're just writing a lot of new songs. I do the channel with my partner and boyfriend, Shankar Tucker, who produces everything, and we co-write everything. So yeah.
Yeah. But tell me, I loved your latest video that you did. Well, original video, Tamil Born Killer. And I really love the lyrical content in there. And I was going through all the comments, and that seems to be really how your fans really connect with you. They're like, hell yeah, this girl's representing. She's saying everything we want to say. Tell me about your process of writing those lyrics.
That specific song, I was just reading through comments. I try not to do that, but sometimes I read some hate on there, and I'm just you know what, about who I am or where I'm from or what I look like. And so I just channeled that and wrote it into a song with thinking about if we were on a girls' night out and there's a guy always creeping around and want to get into the group. So I always get annoyed about that. So that's kind of the inspo behind that song.
Right, so it's a song about girls just wanting to have a girls' night.
Yeah.
And these creepy dudes in Silver Lake at the Thirsty Crow rolling and trying to get involved. Huh?
I think it was actually back in DC. There's been specific instances of that, and I kind of took that and I was like, well, if it was a hater plus a creepy guy, getting in, how would it sound?
Right. And do you get a lot of fan feedback of people being able to relate to your lyrics?
Yeah, actually a lot of people, especially people that live here and are Indian, Indian diaspora, who have moved away from their home country or trying to get, I don't know, their parents are from a different culture, and they're used to the American culture. So how do they keep their roots? And so that's something that people really connect with. And I didn't realize that until last year. And I was like, this is really cool.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it is so relatable.
Yeah. And people share my story, which is amazing because you always tend to feel alone, and people share my story, which is
amazing.
Awesome.
And so what I found really interesting was how kind of quick your channel blew up. I mean, I saw that it sort of hit 100,000 subscribers in 2015, and then by 2016 it was on 1 million.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Were you expecting that?
Crazy. No, not at all. When I did my first video, I was like, no one's gonna watch this. It's a mashup, and mashups aren't a new idea. I didn't invent them. People have been doing them for generations, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna do this and see, how it goes. And yeah, I think by the second, third video, people started to catch on to what was happening, and I did a video every 10 days. Shankar and I would put it out every week or maybe 10 days or so, and then the regularity, I think, caught on, and yeah, all of a sudden it was kind of blew up. So
you think you really, I mean, it is, I do, obviously, as I mentioned before, I do interviews with YouTubers regularly, and the topic of consistency comes up a lot. Some people say it's absolutely detrimental to your channel when you're starting out. Others say, hey man, if you need to take a month to just relax a little bit and you don't burn out, then take it. Where's your stance on that?
I think it's somewhere in the middle. I think consistency is very important, especially in the beginning. And, but you also have to give yourself time to evolve and do things as an artist, because otherwise you're going to just be stuck doing the same things and kind of be in a rut forever. And then you're going to look back and be like, wait, this is, so I think that's important as well. So it's about a balance.
And tell me where you came up with the idea to do the mashups with the Indian touch with Tamil.
Yeah, I grew up in the DC area, but I am from Chennai, and we're first generation immigrants. And so, growing up, I would always feel kind of a clash of worlds, so I'm at school, eating pizza and fries and listening to Destiny's Child and Backstreet Boys. But then I come home and then I'm eating dosa and idli, speaking Tamil and singing Carnatic music. So I always felt like I lived two separate lives, and it kind of, it was a struggle, identity struggle. I would never share what happened at home, in school, or vice versa. And so after college, I moved back to India, actually, to get my training on, you know, because I stopped in college because I did pre-medicine. It's fine, as every Indian kid does. It's not special. And then I was living in India, and I was like, hey, I had this idea of, you know, doing a Western song with like an Indian song mashed up, and Seth Shankar's specialty. He really does a really good job of that, like producing it. So yeah, we were just experimenting, and yeah, it just happened.
It just happened. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got so many questions. So, well, first of all, talking about having an identity crisis, was your culture something? You know, I read that you in an interview you did that you were kind of you were almost not. Yeah, you said you were bullied.
Yeah,
about
I
it,
was.
and you were having an identity crisis. You didn't want to be loud and proud like you are now about your culture. Tell me about that.
I think it was middle school was really rough. I didn't have any Indian friends. I don't even think there were Indian kids at my school. And no one understood like the lunch I ate, because my mom would pack me very traditional Indian lunch, like dal and roti, or, you know, like rajma and rice. And Indian food smells great, but does it smell good to a middle school kid who is used to Lunchables and peanut butter jelly? No. And so I think people were, I don't know, I guess they were like afraid, or they were weirded out by like the stuff that I, you know, brought. And so I would never like eat lunch, or I would just be like, oh, you know, I just would beg my mom for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but she would never it. So I would get bullied for like, be like, oh, you smell like curry, or like, you know, why are you so hairy, or it's just really mean.
Kids are savage.
They're mean. Yeah. And so I really took that to heart as like a 7th grader. And I also had like a unibrow because, you know, so it was not like the most glam moment in my life, but it took it to heart. So then in going into high school, I was just like completely erased anything. I didn't tell anyone I could sing or dance or do any of that until like senior year is when I started like a little bit. I had some Indian friends, and they were also like that, and also nerds, and so then it felt comfortable. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it is, I mean, at that age, all you want to do is just fit in.
Yeah, that's all you want to do.
You don't have the confidence in 7th grade to own your culture. You know, you just want to go under the radar and not be pointed out for
exactly. And you just want to be cool like everyone else, you know?
Yeah, that really is difficult. So you said it was sort of in high school was when you started going, okay, there's other people doing this. Maybe you know, maybe I should be loud and proud about it.
Yeah, like end of high school, I would say that's when, and then fully into college, because I had a lot of Indian friends in college, and it was a very like accepting community, and everyone did their own thing, and it was cool to do whatever you wanted to do.
Right.
So in college, I fully came into it.
All right, guys. Well, I guess I better wrap it up. I feel like I could sit here talking Fortnite with you all day.
Yes, we have to match.
Yeah. But I want to say a huge thank you, guys. You've been listening to Heard While. We are down in Hollywood at the Castbox studio. My name is Xavier Brinkman, and thank you again to the lovely Vidya Vox for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me. It was so fun.
Of course. All right. Cheers, guys. Catch you next week.
Bye.